Oh, great. Well, thanks for meeting with me.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So you're still in BC, eh?
Yeah, well, we're on tour. We just played in Nelson last night at the Royal, and we have a day off in Nelson, and then we are in Fernie tomorrow night, Calgary the next night, and then we have a day off in Edmonton, and then we play at the Avery on Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sweet. That's busy, eh?
yeah, it's been a long time. We've been going a long time. We've been
When
going
did
since
you when did you start the tour?
the tour started on May or it was like early May, I think. We did run of shows on the East Coast and then flew over to the West Coast, and we've been going sort of ever since then. Like, let me just look quickly. Look at the tour poster. I should be able to tell the um the tour poster. Our first show was on May 8th, so being kind of there's been some little breaks in between, but pretty much going since May 8th.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy wow.
yeah, it's been good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Any highlights so far?
Um, The probably the first highlight that comes to mind was in Toronto. We sold out the show at the Burdock Music Hall,
Oh
and that was
wow.
actually the first time I've ever sold out a show. And so that was a really, really cool experience. And um, last night was actually one of the highlights of the tour. It was a really special crowd. And Nelson is just such a gorgeous place. I don't know if you've ever
Mm,
been. It's
yeah.
incredible. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm sitting right now, like I'm looking at the mountains. It's incredible. So but just in general, I guess, like, just it's all been really cool, and I think it's kind of exceeded my expectations in terms of my first real touring experience and releasing my first record.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Yeah, so I guess we'll get started with the easy questions.
Yeah.
Who are you and what kind of music do you make?
Yeah, my name's Aaron Wylder. I make indie folk, indie rock music. I've been making music now. I think I released my first song in 2021 or 2022, somewhere about then. I just released my first album called Brand New TV. And yeah, I'm on the road.
Oh, awesome. And you're not from Canada. You said, I think I was
Yeah,
reading there, you're from the Caribbean and then you
yeah,
moved to another island, eh?
yeah, yeah, exactly. An island across the world, just going a little further north. Yeah, I was born and raised in the Cayman Islands, and when I was 14, I moved to Victoria on Vancouver Island, and then 3 years ago, I went to Montreal,
Oh,
and now
wow.
I'm planning on heading back to the West Coast soon here.
Oh, crazy. Any favorite spots that you've been in?
In the West Coast or
Yeah.
like in
I guess all together. Yeah. Any
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like the top hmm, Vancouver Island will always have a very special place in my heart. It will always be home, but
Mhm.
there's something about being in Montreal that
Hmm.
there will always be an allure that pulls you back to Montreal.
Hmm.
It's I think Montreal's like unlike any other city in Canada, maybe even North America.
Oh, wow.
It's a very special place, and I owe a lot of inspiration and artistic development to that city.
Oh, great. Would you say that's like a primary inspiration source there or?
No, no. I think
Oh,
a lot of what I write about is personal experience. This record in particular is a lot about mental health struggles and sort of growing through those things and um, understanding myself better and sort of explaining my journey. Um, but I think more so that moving to Montreal from the West Coast was the first time in my life that I started to live as an artist and
hmm.
understand what that meant to live as an artist. Um, just because Montreal still, even though it is getting more expensive, still you have the ability to live off of your art,
Oh,
generally
wow.
speaking. And so you can play every night, you can play your own shows, you can record, and just make enough to live there. And so I think for artists, it provides that opportunity to really dive into it, which is really
Yeah.
waking up every day and thinking about your songs and thinking about how your art interacts with the world, how you interact with the world, what you want to talk about, what you want to write about, and just be engulfed in music. I never had that experience,
Hmm.
before.
Yeah, I bet that that seems like a lot of local artists here dream to be able to do that.
Oh, big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's anything a Canadian artist could do right now, I'd say get yourself to some type of version of a Montreal,
Hmm.
because it completely changed my life. After the first year there, I was like, "This is insane."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you had your first album out now.
Yeah.
How did that come about? What's
Yeah. The I started recording with, my producer, Max Fraser, who's joined me on tour. He's playing guitar, and he'll be with us on the Edmonton show at the Avery. And I started recording a couple songs with him, and it was when we hit, there's a song on the record called "Rolling Tide," and we hit that song, and we're kind of like, it just felt like we were entering an album territory,
hmm.
we realized that, hey, maybe there's more to this project, more to the songs. I think I had like 4 or 5 in the bag that we'd sort of worked on together that I'd written and he had, was producing on. Um, and I guess it just sparked the conversation of, is this an album territory thing? And then I kind of went, feed in and dived into the project, and it's been basically the last 2 years of my life getting this 10-track album together and, writing different iterations of songs, many other songs, and, putting it all together. Um, and so, yeah, it's been a journey, but, I think amongst anything, I was never expecting anything to come from the album. I was just so happy to be able to just put out your first
Hmm.
record, because it's an achievement in itself, I think, for artists to be able to do it.
Yeah. It's a pretty personal album too, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's you said it kind of touches on a lot of mental health issues and kind of your journey.
Yeah, yeah, it is personal. Like I talk a lot about struggling with OCD, um, which is sort of been my big experience with mental health um, and overcoming that, more so in the sense that learning to live alongside of it. So there's like a song called "Beautiful Minds," which I was inspired by. There's a Russell Crowe movie called "The Beautiful Mind,"
Hmm.
um, and in that film, he struggles heavily with schizophrenia. And in the film, they talk a lot of, he's like, oh, we have to go through this medical treatment. You have to, they start to really hone in on the traditional medicine side of things. But what ends up happening to the character, not spoiler alert, is
Yeah.
that he learns to live all, he completely accepts his schizophrenia and lives alongside it,
Hmm.
to the point where he's this mathematical genius that goes on to win a Nobel Peace Prize, but he 100% sees people that aren't real. And I was like, you know what? If someone can do that, there's no reason why I can't live alongside OCD and anxiety and the side effects of it. So a lot of that album for me was I subconsciously entered this journey where I've said, okay, I'm going to finally accept myself for who I am.
Hmm. Some is that hard playing live? Is that
Uh,
personal kind of?
sometimes it trickles in. There's other songs on the album that are about my girlfriend that I've met in Montreal. She's also on tour with me, and that those ones are easier to tap into. But the there's times, but a lot of times it's really nice. It's symbolic because you'll be kind of thinking to yourself. Sometimes the lyrics really line up with what's happening. Um, and it's kind of beautiful in a way.
Awesome. Anything, any other like musical influences from that album?
Uh, hmm. I remember looking at different references when we were looking at the production of stuff, but a lot of it, I've always found that like people ask like, "Oh, what bands are you inspired by? What sounds?" And I
Hmm.
think that it's very much up to the listener to kind of they find their own interpretations of that. Um, but I find like, yeah, I think it's an amalgamation of just the kind of music I like to listen to. Um, but at the time, of really diving into recording the album, I was really inspired by MJ Lenderman's recent record.
Hmm.
And so I that raw sound, I think we kinda tapped into at times, and, a bit more honesty in the recording.
Oh, awesome. Um, yeah. So anything else in the works in terms of new music or
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean, we're always
focusing on the tour, I guess?
yeah, so first step is to get through this tour alive, and then second step is to get another album together, but I will have more tours coming up in the fall and into the winter. So I'm excited to announce those. But yeah, get back into the studio, keep recording. I do think I need to give my brain a bit of a creative break
Yeah.
because it was a rush. And I'm sure many artists can relate. Like you kind of
Mhm.
rush to get everything done at the last minute, get it onto the distributors and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to sort of giving myself a bit of a license to sit back and just write to write and not
Mhm.
write to make this the seventh song on the record or write because that needs to be a single, just kind of just write to write. So, but I'm going to be on the road a lot, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with more people in Canada.
Oh, awesome. How have you found it? How is it as like a Canadian artist to stand out? Like, especially as a singer-songwriter,
Yeah,
like how do you make that distinction between, others?
other nationalities or
Or other singer-songwriters kind of similar genre.
yeah, yeah,
How do you break out of that
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. I think a lot of it, like I'm very proud to be like I became Canadian in 20. I think it's 2022 or 2021. I got my Canadian passport because I moved
Mhm.
from the Caymans. I had a British passport,
Mhm.
and I feel immense pride to be a Canadian individual, Canadian citizen,
Mhm.
and especially a Canadian artist. Like I look up to bands like Sam Roberts Band, and like some of these Canadian artists are just. I have a song on the record called Canadian Dream, and it's about being able to go around Canada and play in these beautiful places and celebrate your music and celebrate other people's music. I think making the distinction, I think by tapping into being proud of that, I think is really important. I think that a lot of Canadian artists kind of ignore the fact that they're Canadian, and they're kind of looking more to the fact like I trying to tap into the American market, or they're trying to find
Mhm.
something else to because I mean, let's face it, a lot of the biggest artists in America are Canadian,
Mhm.
and we kind of forget, oh, that guy was ours or she was ours, but we lost her to the American market,
Mhm.
um, and so I think I try to distinguish myself as just being proud to play small venues in Canada and proud to
Mhm.
be on the road in Canada and be a part of this beautiful country.
Wow. Do you have like a favorite venue, maybe one that you've kind of come up with, or
Yeah,
that holds a special place in your
for
heart?
sure, for sure. When I first went to Montreal, I played a place called Quai de Brume, which is on Saint Denis, and it's kind of one of the main venues for indie artists, and it's a small room, but when it fills up, it feels like absolutely massive. And it was one of the first places I played in Montreal when I moved there, and it was the first stop of or the second stop of this tour, and we did a big album release show there with a full band, and it was amazing. That place will always have a special place in my heart. The Julie who runs it, or Julia who runs the venue, Eddie, the booker, and the bar manager, they're great people, and they do a lot for the scene there. They have an early show and a late show almost every night of the week,
Wow.
and people go. Like it's not like playing an early slot at pretty much any other venue. If you play at 7 o'clock, no one's going to be there, but people will show
Mhm.
up for the 7 o'clock slot, and then there's the people who show up for the 9 o'clock slot. It's a that's a really special place, and, I look forward to playing there again.
Hmm. Have you noticed a difference in kind of the music culture between, the bigger cities across Canada?
Yeah, I prefer I mean, I love playing everywhere, but the smaller the town, generally,
Hmm.
it could be pretty awesome. Like,
Oh
the
yeah.
small towns can be pretty great. It's you're competing with a huge market when you enter a place like Toronto or even Montreal, Vancouver. You have a lot of other things to compete with and a lot of noise. But, there's something about rolling into a place like Nelson where there's only 1 or 2 music venues, and it's a Saturday night, and so, there's only so many things they can do, and so you kind of become that primary source of entertainment. Um, but, I think they all have kind of their advantages and disadvantages. I think at my stage in my career right now, I'm really enjoying playing small towns just because they kinda give me more the time of day because
Yeah.
I'm still just set a new name, just trying to break in, but, I do love playing in Montreal and love playing Toronto, and I'm looking forward to playing more in Vancouver. Um, but it's, and of course, it will be my first time playing in Calgary and Edmonton,
Hmm.
and, um yeah, so I can't really speak to the distinction of big cities and small cities as much as I can speak to just playing in small places because 'cause I've just really only played in small places up to
Hmm.
this point, so but I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
So, how important is it to do the whole social media thing? Have you found as an artist?
It's incredibly important.
Hmm.
It's 100% important, and nobody wants to say it is, and nobody wants to admit that it is. But it's incredibly relevant, um, and, uh, it's about little efforts every day. Like, people ask me about how what I because I've been having lately, especially in this last month, it's quite helped this tour, um,
Hmm.
and it's not there's no secret, recipe or anything. I really think it's just that just chalking off 15 to 20 minutes a day to put up a few videos, a few posts, and just putting it out there and moving on to the next day and consistently doing that every day doesn't sound like a lot of work, but
Yeah.
I think it definitely it, it dawns on you, like, it will pull you down for a little while because 'cause you're like, "This" you'll see nothing coming from it,
Hmm.
but it's all of a sudden you're playing a show in Kelowna, and then somebody comes up, like, a pack of people come up to you and say, "We saw your TikTok, and that's why we're here tonight."
Oh.
And they sell them T-shirts, and those 5 T-shirts was the difference between you losing money and making money that night. And so I
Hmm.
really think it's a amalgamation of little efforts, all kind
Hmm.
of working together.
Oh, nice. What advice would you give new artists that are just kind of coming out?
Um, I'd say, for social media or just in general?
So just in general, yeah.
Yeah. Play as much as you humanly can. Um, play as play any gig you can get, play all the open mics, um, and don't be afraid of objective criticism. Find 2 or 3 people in your life that you think have a really good musical opinion, um, and allow them to give you, uh, constructive criticism and accept it and try to learn and move on from it, and get better. And then when you're ready to share yourself with the world, because you don't need to get on your phone immediately and start blasting the world.
Yeah.
I think a lot of like, it's funny, my girlfriend told me about this, Taylor Swift said this recently. She's a big Swiftie, and all
Hmm.
to the Swifties. I have full respect for the Swifties. Not trying to start a war here. But, that Taylor Swift said, like, there's a lot of pressure for musicians to get on the internet immediately and start posting and showing this product that hasn't really even evolved yet. And there is something to be said about spending some years just doing your thing and playing in venues and not advertising it, just getting better and getting better. And when you're ready to share it with the world, share it. But, yeah, I think that the most important thing you can do is just play, because naturally, if you're out there playing shows, as many as you possibly can, you will get better, you will get the feedback you need, you will learn the songs, learn how to write the songs you wanna write, you'll find your sounds, you'll connect with people, and that's just not prioritized enough anymore because I think musicians are so afraid of not having people at their shows, they end up playing 5 shows a year, you know?
Mm.
I can't tell you how many bands I've met that are like, "Yeah, we're a band, we're full-time, we rehearse 3 times a week, we play 6 times a year."
Mm.
Because they're like, "We have to," they rely on just their friends every single time to fill the venue when it's not even about filling the venue when you're at that
Mhm.
stage, it's about playing.
Mm. And what about you? What do you, listen to? Mm.
Um, but listen to a lot of different stuff. Um, let me pull out I'm really bad with remembering things, but I'm gonna pull up my Spotify here and just scroll through some likes here that we've been enjoying on the road. Uh, Josiah and the Bonnevilles. Josiah and the
Oh,
Bonnevilles. His last record is amazing. So I've been really enjoying that. Um, uh, who else? Been listening to Fox Warren. Um, been listening to who else? Was listening to Wilco on the road. That was really fun. A huge fan of MJ Lenderman. Um, yeah, I've actually been listening to a lot of DeJoe.
mm,
Because it's just really well produced record, and he's
mm,
obviously incredibly talented. But yeah, I'm not a, I don't know. I put the radio on honestly a lot.
mm.
Just kind of let it go, just because it's easier that way sometimes.
Nice. Any books you're reading now?
Nope, no books right now.
No?
I should be. You're right.
Yeah.
That's great advice. I should
Hmm.
be.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess anything else you'd want your fans to know, especially
Um,
coming up here in Calgary and Edmonton?
yeah, if you're in Calgary on June 9th, I'd love to see you at Loophole. If you're in Edmonton on June 11th, we'll be at the Avery. The bills are amazing. Uh, we have some incredible openers. Travis Matthews and uh, okay, Bennett is joining as well. It's going to be a really special night, both nights. Yeah, and so if you're in the area, we'd love to see you there.
Oh, awesome. Well, sounds great. Well, thanks so much for your time. And yeah, I guess we'll see you on the 11th.
See you on the 11th. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thanks.